such a place as the center of the sun. You say, what made you think of that? Boy, how your mind does run. Well, I say it's gotta be there. Where else would the light come from? There is such a place as the center of the sun. And the light waves left that fiery furnace, past Mercury and Venus, glinted off the man-made junk forever lost in space. And the light fell on the live oaks, so awakened all my high hopes, sparkled in her hazel eyes and kissed her freckled face. And there's such a place as the bottom of the sea, something like 34 degrees south, about 87 east. Oh, there's nothing there but ocean mud and fish with curly teeth. But there is such a place as the bottom of the sea. And the waters rose up to the shallows, ascended to the heavens, rained back down in curtains to satisfy the streams. And the city pumped the waters in a pipe straight to a faucet, and I saw them in her misty eyes when I got down on one knee. And there is such a place as the cradle of the wind, where currents of the sky take form and Arctic gusts are sent to scatter across the earth and dance beneath the firmament. Oh, there is such a place as the cradle of the wind. And the cold air slapped its knee and stood up tall, said, boys, let's go down yonder, y'all. This lounging around the North Pole ain't the best use of our time. And the cool sweet breeze came rushing in, and she breathed it at the altar when I heard it in her words as she said she'd always be mine. Oh, there is such a place as the center of the sun. You say, what made you think of that? Boy, how your mind does run. I say it's gotta be there. Where else would the light come from? Oh, there is such a place as the center of the sun. Yeah, there is such a place as the center of the sun. When I was younger, I took pictures with my friends, mostly so we could show off a bit online. No one objected, it was always common sense. See, how else would you prove to the world that you'd had a grand old time? Well, call us silly, or call us vain, but all these years later, I'm kinda glad to have those frames. So take a picture with your friends. Take a picture just to keep it. Take a picture with your friends. Oh, you never know when you might need it. Well, I grew up and got a little disenchanted with the trappings of the social media age. See, it never seemed too natural or candid to tell everyone lean in and look over this way. Call me silly or call me vain, but it'll help me years from now to not forget your name. So take a picture with your friends. Take a picture just to keep it. Take a picture with your friends. Oh, you never know when you might need it. The longer I live, the more I see that no one is ever guaranteed. They can drift away, vanish in a flash, make you wish you had some proof that for once you both crossed paths. So take a picture with your friends, and take a picture just to keep it. And take a picture with your friends. Oh, you never know when you might need it. It's hard to tell just by the way this road is weaving. So take a picture with your friends. Oh, you never know when you might need it. Thank y'all. Well, I've been finding myself writing a whole lot about friendship in the past couple of years. It's always good to have friends. There's a good friend of mine up in Dallas who got married a few weeks ago. I drove all the way up to the wilds of North Texas to go to his wedding. It was worth every mile just to see him so happy. This was one of those friends that I'd known since college, and whenever I was living out of state, I'd pass through Dallas and get beer or breakfast with him and just catch up. And he was also one of those friends who you kind of commiserate with, and you swap dating stories and accounts of romantic attempts gone awry. And on one occasion last year, I'd met up for breakfast with him, and I noticed he just looked different. You know, he had a lot more happiness about his countenance, and he told me all about how he'd found a lady who loved him back and how special and life-changing that was for him. I haven't written too many songs based on conversations I've had with people. There's some songwriter friends of mine who can just crank those out, but I did write a song about this conversation because it was just so beautiful to hear him talk about it. So this is a song called Only Just Now Learn About Love. I am well acquainted with the wild infatuations. I've roamed beneath the moon with hope burning through my veins. And I'm the manual for making fact from idle speculation. I've mined the past for clues and gotten locked up in their chains. And I'm mighty skilled at painting impressionistic portraits. I'm blinded by the diamonds in the rough. But I'm only just now learning, only just now learning. Yes, I'm only just now learning about love. Yes, I'm only just now learning, only just now learning. Yes, I'm only just now learning about love. And I've studied other cases like a postdoctoral scholar to find out why some perfect matches plummet down in flames. And I've suspected it's the despotism of the dollar that magnifies their differences and sins in separate ways. And I'd become a cynic out of selfish preservation, and just terrified I'd screw the whole thing up. But I'm only just now learning, only just now learning. Yes, I'm only just now learning about love. Yes, I'm only just now learning, only just now learning. Yes, I'm only just now learning about love. Hey, hey. Only just now learning, only just now learning. Now learning. Now I feel just like the kid that stuck a knife into an outlet. We're caught up in this current, spiraling upward back and forth. Oh, but it ain't killed me yet. No, I can't help but sing about it. 'Cause when I can tell you love me, it makes me love you even more. And my eyes are welling up now just for the joy inside. I truly thought this day would never come. No, no, no. But I'm finally just now learning. I'm finally just now learning. Yes, I'm finally just now learning about love. Yes, I'm finally just now learning. Finally just now learning. Yes, I'm finally just now learning about love. Yes, I'm finally just now learning. I'm finally just now learning. Yes, I'm finally just now learning about love. Thanks so much. I had the opportunity a few months ago to meet one of my songwriting heroes by chance, or grand design. I don't know if you ever had the chance to meet any of your personal heroes, people you've looked up to for a long time, but it's a pretty jarring experience. You get all dry in the mouth, you can't get your words out. It's just kind of a total shock. And there's a mental game that I've played with myself quite a bit over the years where I take that same concept and I apply it to people that I see in my life every single day. You see somebody every day, but you imagine, what if they were somebody high profile? And how would I react then? Would I view them as special? And I've just had that thought a lot this year, and just wrote this song about that concept. This one's called Cherish You Now. When you showed me a picture from when you were younger, I didn't expect to feel vaguely annoyed. Just to know how much of your life I've missed out on, and how much I would have enjoyed to have known you then and to witness firsthand all the stories I've heard you recount. But I guess the very best that I can do is to cherish you now. You ever been tongue-tied, rendered speechless, when you finally met someone you'd admired from afar? You stammered in shell shock, grappling for words as the weight of the moment hit you like a car. Well, it's just as much of a miracle that I get to have you around. So I'm resolved to be enthralled, and that ain't hard to do, as I choose to cherish you now. Cherish you now. Don't want to be coming up empty-handed someday. I don't want to find myself scrounging through the finite vault of fading memories. But it's not out of fear of future regret that the warmth in my heart is abounding. I'm just so glad that you're here right now with me. I used to latch on to so many people, thinking our friendships would forever last. But now I've witnessed how much they are subject to changes of places and circumstance. Well, I've no idea just how long we'll all be conveniently in the same town. But I can't tell, so I won't dwell on what may or may not be. I just know I need to cherish you now. Cherish you now. Thank you. Raise your hands if you've ever thought about writing your name in a patch of wet concrete. You ever been on a walk? Okay. Keep your hands up if you've actually done it, so we know who to arrest. Okay, cool. Great. Well, I thought about writing my name in the concrete. I was in Nashville when the pandemic started. I was on the verge of moving out of there anyway, but there was nothing to do other than just walk around all afternoon. It was a nice spring day. And there I was walking down West End Avenue, and I figured I'd be leaving soon, and I saw this patch of wet concrete and thought about writing my name in it, but even with the pandemic, there were enough cars going down West End Avenue that I thought better and talked myself out of it, and instead went home and wrote this song about why I should have written my name in the concrete. should have written my name in the concrete, and nobody was there to arrest me. And if I'd broken rules, who cares who disapproves? I need to leave a mark before I go. I should have written my name in the concrete, a little stand against the elements around me, to say that I was here and I gave a couple years, and no amount of shame can snuff it out. But then they'll knock upon my door, but I don't live here no more. They'll chase me across the Mississippi River, and they'll say the handwriting was mine, and I'll have to pay some fine for thinking I was someone to remember. I should have written my name in the concrete. It's just 4 little letters, it's nothing flashy. And I won't be accused of showing off and signing big like John Hancock, and my social's probably public knowledge anyhow. I should have written my name in the concrete, instead of telling myself I was too busy, too old and too mature, as if that would deter me from the reckless things I do when I'm alone. But then they'll knock upon my door, but I don't live here no more. They'll chase me across the Mississippi River, and they'll say the handwriting was mine, and I'll have to pay some fine for thinking I was someone to remember. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Ooh. Thank y'all. Well, this next one's sort of what I think of as a theological love song. I've had different experiences with dating over the years and trying to make relationships work out. And the problem is when I fall in love, it's very, very deep and it's miserable. It's absolutely miserable. I mean, I'm talking like roaming around beneath the moon, not sleeping for several nights on end, with as much adrenaline pumping through me as if I'm either being robbed at gunpoint or watching Aggie football, and maybe both of those things at once. But each time that has happened in my life, it becomes another occasion to try to talk some sense into myself if I can, and just name the things that are causing me great anxiety in that department, and most importantly, to tell the Lord about them. And so this is an attempt to do just that. Worshiping you won't do me no favors. It's a mission as endless as plumbing the blue. My quest for perfection is destined for failure, 'cause you can't bear the weight of my worshiping you. Worshiping you will just rob me of slumber. I'll soak all the day long and mope 'neath the moon, wishing in vain that you could be my lover, and wasting my precious time worshiping you. I could summit the Alps or even Kilimanjaro and cry out my lungs about the things I can't change, but someone else else waits for me beyond tomorrow, she won't be just like you, but it'll all be okay. Worshipping you is just a blind soul's behavior, 'cause last time I checked, God don't need substitutes. Oh, you're pretty good, darling, but you sure ain't my maker. And my heart's built for greater things than worshiping you. I could summit the Alps or even Kilimanjaro and cry out my lungs about the things I can't change. But someone else waits for me beyond tomorrow. She won't be just like you, and I know she'll be great. Worshipping you is just a blind soul's behavior, 'cause last time I checked, God don't need substitutes. Well, you're pretty good, darling, oh, but you sure ain't my maker. And my heart's built for greater things than worshiping you. Yeah, my heart's built for greater things than worshiping you. Thank y'all. Thought I would try writing a song about the very quick 4-minute commute I had every day. This one's called Crossin' Fredericksburg Road. I'm always wiping sleep from my eyes, an hour until sunrise when I'm crossing Fredericksburg Road, hoping I don't get T-boned. There's heavy fog and blind corners, green lights beckoning forward, watch my whole life be for naught if I die here on this spot. They say it was something he could have helped if he'd only had the brains to wear a seatbelt. And my story will surely be put to good use to teach my niece and my little nephews not to do like their uncle long ago when he forgot to buckle up crossing Fredericksburg Road. Whoa. Now, Huebner, whatever you say, if you're a newbie or a native, that'll give it away. Well, across this Fredericksburg Road, near a fenced-off live oak grove, near a Chevron where the pumps are too old, and a Texaco that sells gas the price of your soul, and a Lockville Cemetery where the old settlers are buried. It's a refuge in the middle of the hustle and shove. I've sat there and listened to the white-winged dove, and I wonder what the residents below me would say if they saw their little acre, how it's looking today. A convenient spot for to bury me low if I ever get hit crossing Fredericksburg Road. Whoa. Now on the very first day of 2023, the sun was shining unseasonably, smiling down on Fredericksburg Road. Classic winter in San Antonio. I took my old bike out for a New Year's spin just to get my stiff lungs breathing easy again. Whizzed past the apartment gate, sped under the interstate, hit a sharp curb near the fuelman sign, and I coasted to the crosswalk with just enough time. Then the gears locked up and the chain was stuck. The bike stopped short of a Nissan truck, and the driver sat filming me with their phones as I walked my bike in shame across Fredericksburg Road. If you're listening and you're too polite to mention, why is he scared of Fredericksburg Road? There's worse streets on this globe. Oh, I don't mean to be all down and gloomy. There's a lot of funny thoughts come swarming to me like bees around a hive every second that I drive. But the moral is, folks, look right and left. It'll postpone your scheduled appointment with death. And make sure your bicycle's working all right before you're stuck in front of cars that got a green light. And you end up like a squash flat toad next time you're crossing Fredericksburg Road. Whoa. Here's one that I don't think I've ever performed live before, but it's the 8th song on my second album. I've got 3 albums out, by the way. I've got one called If There Are Other Places that was my first record. Put that out back in 2019, and then moved on back to Texas and thought I had kind of given up performing and doing music and all that for a couple of years, and then realized I need to keep writing and I need to make this. And so I went and I recorded The Handwriting Was Mine, which is my second album. It really just began as a group of songs written for particular friends who had asked about my songs over the years. I didn't even intend for it to be publicly released at first. I was like, can I make it through this whole recording process, if only just to give a WAV file to certain friends and not release it at all? But I did release it, and I'm happy y'all get to hear it. So that one came out in 2023, and then I got my latest album called The Best Use of Our Time that came out back in July. So 33 songs total, those 3 albums and a few more that I've released. So be sure and check that out. I got CDs for the first 2 albums out there in the merch table. Anyway, that's a little shout out to the recorded music. But there's this 8th song on The Handwriting Was Mine that I wrote for one of my best childhood friends. He and I still keep in touch. Talked for 2 hours on the phone the other night, and it's good to hear from him. And this is just a song about the purpose of friendship, which, again, is just something I keep coming back to a lot these days. This one's called Yellow Roses. How did we get here in Tennessee? A noonday sun, an early summer breeze. Your arm around your brother and looking down. Yellow roses piled on a mound. We're not asking why life had to end this way, just why it has to end it all. But when did we learn to be brave? We never had a need to bond over pain. It was all Cincinnati fire kites, rough and tumble games, backyard camper on a Friday night when the heat was keeping us awake. And we're not asking why life has to hurt this way, just why it has to hurt at all. We never saw ourselves as bracing for the pain, just building love to break the fall. All the times we swapped our secrets in the dark, barely whispering our words, racing on the fields of Milburn Park, and kicking up the patchy turf and digging tunnels in the sand just to see how long they'd stand. Is this what we did it for? Is this what we did it for? Seems like it all comes down to this, like turning leaves and smoky wisps. We build upon a bygone day, and if I share your past, then to your pain. And we're not asking why life has to hurt this way, just why it has to hurt it all. We never saw ourselves as bracing for the pain, just building love to break the fall. We Never saw ourselves as bracing for the pain. Just building love to break the fall. Just building love to break the fall. Thank you. This is a song for when you've hurt somebody and you never want to do it again. This one's called No Harm Is Gonna Come to You. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the martins and the myrtle and the blossoms on the bluff and the coyotes in the valley with a weeping dove, and the painted rocks are rolling and the springs are flowing blue. No harm is gonna come to you. Oh, I told you in a whisper, and the mountain made her sigh, and the river ran closer, and the crows asked why. Well, the law can give an answer, and the legend tell the truth, and no harm is gonna come to you, and no harm is gonna come. Yeah, no harm is gonna come, and no harm is gonna come to you. Can you feel that early sunrise spreading over the lake, from the curtain of cedars to the tugboat's wake? Well, if we get a move on, we can make it to the moon, and no harm is gonna come to you. I've been spending my weekends hunkered down on the job. You've been flying through the hours, trying to make them stop. Still several hours between us, till we're in the same room, and no harm is gonna come to you, and no harm is gonna come, and no harm is gonna come, and no harm is gonna come to you. Oh, I'd make you mine forever, but you ain't mine to keep. Lived away from here is tricky, yeah, the climb is steep, but I swore on a Bible from a musty church pew that no harm is gonna come to you. And you worried I was leaving, and it hurt you when I did. Yeah, you've every right to doubt me, not to trust me one bit, but we've done a lot of growing, and love, this story ain't through, and no harm is gonna come to you. No harm is gonna come, and no harm is gonna come, and no harm is gonna come to you. Thank y'all. And I'm not gonna read my Bible just so I can write a song. Not gonna read my Bible just so I can write a song. And I'm not gonna read my Bible just so I can write a song. Let me love my Lord. And I'm not gonna read my Bible just so I can pack my brain. Not gonna read my Bible just so I can pack my brain. And I'm not gonna read my Bible just so I can pack my brain. Let me love my Lord. To love my Lord, to love my Lord. I ain't ever held a shield or touched a double-edged sword, but I'm gonna read my Bible so I can love my Lord. And I'm not gonna read my Bible just so I can win a fight. Not gonna read my Bible just so I can win a fight. And I'm not gonna read my Bible just so I can win a fight. Let me love my Lord. To love my Lord, to love my Lord. I ain't ever held a shield or touched a double-edged sword, but I'm gonna read my Bible so I can love my Lord. And I'm not gonna read my Bible just to make myself feel good. Not gonna read my Bible just to make myself feel good. And I'm not gonna read my Bible just to make myself feel good. Let me love my Lord. To love my Lord, to love my Lord. I ain't ever held a shield or touched a double-edged sword, but I'm gonna read my Bible so I can love my Lord. To love my Lord, to love my Lord. I ain't never held a shield or touched a double-edged sword, but I'm gonna read my Bible so I can love my Lord. Do you write any songs?
I, as a matter of fact, have, yes.
Can you play one?
Yes. I'm glad you asked.
All right. What you got?
All right, this song is called Only for a Little While.
And what's the key again?
It is in C.
That's right. I was just testing you.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't know how you sit so close to me. Personal space does not exist in your world philosophy. But when you're 3, all the world's still somewhat new. You know I'd want to stay close touch, see your smile right there before me. And even though I've sinned before, there's nothing in the world that I want more than a little time alone. No, I know that we're here together. We're here together. We're here together, not always, just a little while. I don't know how you have so much to say. It is humanly impossible. You've not stopped for a breath today. But when you're 9, the world's at your command. But you still wanna hold my hand. And it's only for a little while. I've got your touch, see your smile right there before me. And even though I've said before, there's nothing in the world that I want more than a little time alone. No, I know that we're here together. We're here together. We're here together, not always, just a little while. Now I find strands of silver in my hair. Oh, but I haven't time to care. But if some early gray is the price I have to pay for a front row seat to all this messy beauty, that's okay. 'Cause it's only for a little while. I've got your touch, see your smile right there before me. And even though I've said before, there's nothing in the world that I want more than a little time alone. No, I know that we're here together. We're here together. We're here together, not always, just a little while.
Thank you.
Actually, can you play another one?
Yes, I can. All right, this song was inspired after finding an old photograph of my grandmother. It was an old school picture from 45, I think. And in the picture, of course, it's black and white. She's wearing just a simple dress. And her eyes, though, just cut through this picture. So her hazel eyes got me thinking about her life and led to this song.
She had hazel eyes, clearest I've ever seen. They flashed like golden sunlight, and when she laughed, they turned green. Her daddy pounded the anvil, shaping red-hot steel. By the sweat of his brow, he was drawing out a life there among the fields, where all the dirt roads seemed to have no wind. And when the wind would blow, she would not bend. She got a family of her own, little boys she had two. She named her daughter Hazel, although her eyes were her daddy's blue. She was up before the sunrise. She was ready with this meal. By the sweat of their brows, they were plowing out a life there among the fields, where all the dirt roads seemed to have no wind. When the wind would blow, she would not bend. She's a part of me, I know. I've got her hands and a steady stride, I've been told. But if I ever had hope she'd meet me upon that hard road. I hope she'd meet me upon that hard road. Faster than the weeds they pulled, her children they did grow. But when the time came, the other side stepped further than the end of a row. So she stood out on that front porch as they set out behind the wheel. By the sweat of their brows, they were planning out a life far from the fields, where all the dirt and roads seemed to have no end. And when the winds would blow, she would not bend. She's a part of me, I know. I've got her hands and a steady stride, I've been told. But if I ever have to walk alone, then I hope she'll meet me upon that hard road. I hope she'll meet me upon that hard road. Their harvest was plenty for 40 years and more. But when the last one came, they couldn't avoid that caller at their door. Well, she could have moved down to the city to be with family as she healed. But by the sweat of her brow, she was sticking it out by herself there among the fields, where all the dirt and roads seemed to have no end. And when the winds would blow, she would not bend. She's a part of me, I know. I've got her hands and a steady stride, I've been told. But if I ever have to walk alone, I hope she'll meet me upon that hard road. I hope she'll meet me upon that hard road. She buried her husband, her sister and friends, a grandson whose life was too short to end. Still she stayed rooted, pressing into that wild West Texas wind. She's a part of me, I know. I've got her hands and a steady stride, I've been told. But if I ever have to walk alone, I hope she'll meet me upon that hard road. I hope she'll meet me upon that hard road. I hope she'll meet me upon that hard road.
Like I mentioned, I used to live in San Antonio for a couple of years. I was teaching kindergarten, first and second grade music down there. It was a great time. And something that occurred to me is how a lot of people will kind of rat on kids. They'll just be like, what's it like teaching all those little monsters? It must be like herding kittens, you know. And while there are certainly some that I can think of where I really hope they get that worked out before they grow up and become real monsters, it dawned on me that people don't talk enough about some of the admirable qualities you see in kids. Like honesty and courage and humility. And sure, maybe they're just doing it to, please the teacher, I don't know, but they're showing honesty and humility and courage and all these good things that just make you go, kid, I'm rooting for you. You're on a good path, keep it up. So this is a song I wrote a couple of years ago about a composite of several different valiant-hearted little kindergarten, first, and second grade boys that came through my classroom. This one's called Charlie the Noble-Hearted. we're standing tall with squinched up eyes as we sang the last chorus of Auld Lang Syne. Hand on your forehead and a proud salute, belting every word like God's own truth, like the world as we knew it was about to end, and we would never get the chance to sing it again. Charlie the noble-hearted, you got courage in your work and play. Charlie the noble-hearted, I hope you're on my side someday. Charlie the noble-hearted, I fight for everything that's good and true. Charlie the noble-hearted, I hope I'm half the man that's growing up in you. He comes over to me during recess time, like a soldier coming home from the battle line. He said, Mr. Stroud, I don't want to say too much, but Gabriella over there, well, she's my crush. And you'd think he'd bought his spread of land with a ranch house of cattle for to win her hand. Charlie the noble-hearted, you got courage in your work and play. Charlie the noble-hearted, I hope you're on my side someday. Charlie the noble-hearted, I fight for everything that's good and true. Charlie the noble-hearted, I hope I'm half the man that's growing up in you. Hey. Well, I've heard good things from others too. Ask how to help so they've less to do. You don't know it all, but you're willing to try. You got a humble heart and you hold your head up high. Charlie the noble-hearted, you got courage in your work and play. Charlie the noble-hearted, I hope you're on my side someday. Charlie the noble-hearted, I fight for everything that's good and true. Charlie the noble-hearted, I hope I'm half the man that's growing up in you. So much. Well, I'm ready to be in love again with anyone, anyone who talks the way you do. And anyone is fine with me so long as we have a history. She has your same eyes of sapphire blue. Yeah, it's just as long as that anyone is you. Yeah, it's just as long as that anyone is you. I'm ready to be in love again with anyone, now that my heartache is all through. So find me any lady you think would fall in love with just a blink, as long as she's the same one that I knew. Yeah, it's just as long as that anyone is you. Yeah, it's just as long as that anyone is you. Anyone whose head is filled with everything you've ever thought of, anyone who's ever tread the very ground you've ever walked on. I'm ready to be in love again with anyone. Yes, just as long as that anyone is you. is filled with everything you've ever thought of. Anyone who's ever tread the very ground you've ever walked on. I'm ready to be in love again with anyone. Yes, just as long as that anyone is you. Yes, just as long as that anyone is you. Yes, just as long as that anyone is you. Thank you. Well, this next song was inspired by, a little bit inspired by this book called Severe Mercy that I was reading last year. And a couple just tries to make a way to completely minimize conflict in anything in their relationship. And eventually it's a flawed attempt, but it's a noble effort to try to just know everything about each other. And I was thinking about just the power and the fragility of human love. And it inspired this song. This one's called Candlelight. I don't know everything about you, but I will do my very best to learn. I've built a bonfire of my deepest seated habits. Sweetheart, I'm willing to let it burn. 'Cause we've been swimming in the fountain of good feelings. Someday you know that's bound to change. But I'm gonna love you as long as Canyon Lake holds water. Sure as the Comal River flows. Faithful as the ranchers hold out against suburban pressures. And I pray that'll be forever. And I pray that'll be forever. About me, I hope that I don't catch you too much by surprise. We both got our wants and needs and limits, and understanding them, it's gonna take some time. But I'm scared to death of fighting with you, darling. Someday you know my voice is bound to rise. But I'm gonna love you as long as Canyon Lake holds water. Sure as the Comal River flows. Faithful as the ranchers hold out against suburban pressures. And I pray that'll be forever. I pray that'll be forever. Oh, 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 yeah, I swear I love you, long as Canyon Lake holds water. Hold out against suburban pressures, and I pray that'll be forever. Yeah, I pray that'll be forever. Yeah, I pray that'll be forever. Thank y'all. This is the 9th song on The Handwriting Was Mine. This one's called Lone Star Nerd. Well, I spent 3 hours Monday night just trying to fall asleep. I named all the Texas counties instead of counting sheep. Aransas to Zavala didn't get me any Z's till I tried ranking them by population density. I'm a straight-A student of the Texas map. I know every county seat from Crane to Anahuac. I learned about Davy Crockett on my mama's lap, and even memorized the Texas Almanac. Well, you think my state pride is just a little bit absurd when I rattle on about the random stuff I've learned. You ask me why, well I'm telling you no lie. Every blue bonnet lady needs a Lone Star nerd. See, I never played a game beneath those Friday night lights. Spent most of high school laughing at the athletic guys, 'cause the encyclopedia was my friend, that's how I always knew. Oh, well-read brain's the surest way to make them ladies swoon. I'm a straight-A student of the Texas map. I know every county seat from Bear to Anahuac. I learned about Dave Crockett on my mama's lap, and I even memorized the Texas Almanac. Well, you think my state pride is just a little bit absurd when I rattle on about the random stuff I learned. You ask me why, well I'll tell you one more time. Every blue bonnet lady needs a Lone Star nerd. She said, honey, you're a sweet thing, and I mean that from my heart. And I'm honored that you love me, but it's time for us to part. 'Cause I'd like to hear I love you every time you hold my hand, and not the cubic feet per second flowing down the Rio Grande. I said, darling, what more could you possibly ask for? I am a straight-A student of the Texas map. I know every county seat from Graham to Anahuac. I learned about David Crockett on my mama's lap, and I even memorized the Texas Almanac. Well, you think my state pride is just a little bit absurd? Well, I guess I could stop whistling like a mockingbird. You ask me why, well, I'm telling you no lie. Every blue bonnet lady needs a Lone Star nerd. You ask me why, well, that's easy, pecan pie. Every blue bonnet lady needs a Lone Star nerd. Thank y'all. One of the great joys of my life recently is when I'm over at their house and Lucy, little 5-year-old Lucy, asks me to sing hymns to her and before she goes to sleep, which I happily oblige. And this is one called Little Lucy. Blonde, pigtailed head, snuggled in bed, blue eyes so seriously study each flick of the strings. You've done your routine, you're scrubbed fresh and clean, you've gone through your questions, and now there's one last thing you need. So you ask me for one, well, I'll sing you two, little Lucy. Hey, let's make it 3 as you drift off to sleep, little Lucy. I've no need to move on. I could sit here till dawn and keep watch with song, little Lucy. So large, so small, so much could happen, and you try to make sense of it all. But fear not, little dear, our Savior is near. Let his love surround you as close as these faithful old songs. When you ask me for one, I'll sing you two, little Lucy. Hey, let's make it three as you drift off to sleep, little Lucy. I've no need to move on. I could sit here till dawn and keep watch with a song, little Lucy. Now I spend most nights playing tunes that I write to entertain strangers and make token efforts bear fruit. But quite honestly, I'd rather be back in that room where I strum in a corner chair, whispering old hymns just for you. So good night, little one. Let's pretend the sun isn't still glowing and beaming through curtains behind you. For soon in the dark, the moon and the stars will hum these songs with me, and you may join if you would like to. And you're asking me for one, well, I'll sing you two, little Lucy. Hey, let's make it three as you drift off to sleep, little Lucy. I've no need to move on. I could sit here till dawn and keep watch with a song, little Lucy. I've no need to move on. I could sit here till dawn and keep watch with a song, little Lucy. It's so special having people to play for. I play gigs all around South Central Texas, and it's good. I'm very thankful to make all my income doing music-related things. But more environments than not, there's nobody listening, and I'll play for 3 hours without any recognition or response. So it's it's part of the grind. It's what musicians got to do. But it just makes it all that more special to look out and just see all of y'all. There's a lot of places y'all could have been on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm so thankful y'all are here. I've been writing a lot of moon songs lately. Especially when it's a full moon. Go out walking, thinking, songwriting. We only get so many full moons. We only get so many full moons, so many summer nights and skips around the sun. We only see so many full moons. Lord, forgive me if I miss a single one. I've seen it hang in butter gold above a still midsummer town. Air so thick you can slice it, and the bullfrogs singing loud. Sacred was the darkness, and hope hung in the air, and poems were brimming in my heart for the girl who was not there. And the world it lay suspended beneath the moon's all-seeing eye, while the orange beams and LEDs specked the streets with lesser lights. But I was stock still in my tracks, loath to take another step, as if one muscle's twitch would shorten the sweet time that I had left, singing, we only get so many full moons, so many summer nights and skips around the sun. We only see so many full moons. Lord, forgive me if I miss a single one. Last night I meandered through New Braunfels as it slept, hung a right turn for Seguin, and passed old Freiheit on the left, looking for some barren pasture where I could discreetly park and sit for hours, playing soft little flickering notes on my guitar. Beyond the power plants and landfills and sterile tracts of starter homes, I switched the headlights off and drifted down the last few remaining country roads, and I could see that little airport beacon spinning steady as a top, and all those distant radio towers blinking faintly on and off, and those sprawling adolescent towns marked out the limits of the sky. Oh, but not right here. It's only purest silver beams that bless my eyes. The stars hung breathless in the heavens, gazing gently at the moon. They heard the night breeze through the cornfields. They heard me whisper in this tune I was singing. We only get so many full moons, so many summer nights and skips around the sun. We only see so many full moons. Lord, forgive me if I miss a single one. Thank y'all so much. I was thinking a lot about the Christian doctrine of the resurrection, which as a Christian I subscribe to, I believe, with all my heart. And I was thinking about how when Jesus comes back, there will be a person who has just been buried. There will be a last person to have just been buried, and they're going to come rocketing right back up out of the grave. The privileged last human in the human race to have been buried. So that inspired this funeral home jingle. Lyman, Burkley, Tanner, and Hatchett, bring your dead and we'll work the magic. Make them lie in state with dignity like we've been doing since 1870. Keep them all safe from the underworld's tentacles. Keep them looking sharp with a cocktail of chemicals. Ain't any problem, we can't dispatch it. Lyman, Burkley, Tanner, and Hatchett. Some of you remember back in 1948 when the Green Fork Tillimany burst the banks. It swamped the graveyard at Schoenfeld Bend, and it took our ancestors out for a swim. Not one bone did anyone see. Them bodies was preserved immaculately. Everybody just commenced right back to visiting. That's what you get when you do your business with Lyman, Burkley, Tanner, and Hatchett. Bring your dead and we'll work the magic. Make 'em lie and stay with dignity like we've been doing since 1870. Keep 'em all safe from the underworld's tentacles. Keep 'em looking sharp with a cocktail of chemicals. Ain't any problem. We can't dispatch it. Lyman, Burkley, Tanner, and Hatchett. City Councilman Duff was a secret scoundrel. He sneaked out one night with a lantern and a shovel. He reckoned he could make some pretty good profits rummaging around in rotten old coffins. But boy, you should have heard that big man scream when he lifted that lid and he took a peek. Uncle Herman looked better than he did alive. He said, "Howdy, Mr. Duff, mighty glad you stopped by. Lyman, Burkley, Tanner, and Hatchett. Bring your dead and we'll work the magic. Make 'em lie and stay with dignity like we've been doing since 1870. Keep 'em all safe from the underworld's tentacles. Keep 'em looking sharp with cocktail chemicals. Ain't any problem. We can't dispatch it. Lyman, Burkley, Tanner, and Hatchett." Now we adhere to what's been said about the Lord coming back for the quick and the dead. Sure, all things are easy because he is the prime mover. Still, we do our part to make the process smoother. None of this dumping ashes in the sea. Piecing them together take eternity. Our client's gonna make the very best impressions when they're rising on up to the home in the heavens. Lyman, Burkley, Tanner, and Hatchett. Bring your dead and we'll work the magic. Make 'em lie and stay with dignity like we've been doing since 1870. Keep 'em all safe from the underworld's tentacles. Keep 'em looking sharp with a cocktail of chemicals. Ain't any problem. We can't dispatch it. Lyman, Burkley, Tanner, and Hatchett. Yeah. I jest, but at the same time, the reality of the resurrection is of great hope for me and for all of us. And I've been thinking a lot about how no matter what we go through in life, Jesus will raise us again, and we'll get new bodies. And this is a song called "Jesus is Gonna Raise Me Again." My right ear is steadily getting worse. I can't hear nothing above 11,000 hertz. Ah, but Jesus gonna raise me again. Well, small talk's getting harder, the sibilants are slight, while the high frequency ringing, screaming at me day and night. Oh, but Jesus gonna raise me again. This life is good and beautiful, but it ain't all there's ever gonna be. I'm gonna live it to the fullest and do the very best I can at everything. Still I'm flesh and bone and dust, bound to wither away and rust, with a name that's just a whisper in the wind. Oh, but Jesus gonna raise me. Jesus gonna raise me again. Into the mirror and my heart cries a lament for the lack of my precautions and for my needless accidents. Oh, but Jesus gonna raise me again. And like the Savior I've been praying, let the cup of suffering pass, and I've pleaded with the Father, take this bribe from my flesh. Oh, but Jesus gonna raise me again. Well, this life is good and beautiful, but it ain't all there's ever gonna be. I'm gonna live it to the fullest and do the very best I can at everything. Still I'm flesh and bone and dust, bound to wither away and rust, with a name that's just a whisper in the wind. Oh, but Jesus got Jesus gonna raise me. Jesus gonna raise me again. Thank y'all. Mama kissed us bye, said I love you, and we walked the blocks for W. On that blustery autumn night, beneath the mercury blue street lights, the neighbor's front door opened slow. Hey man, you still got time to vote. But he don't care about the clock, 'cause we heard them fighting before we knocked. In these cookie cutter homes, cheap wood and moldy limestone, some folks stay locked up all alone out here in Leander. Blame it on the railroad tracks that built this town and steals our tax. Oh, we complain but can't quite turn our backs on Leander. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Oh, we complain but can't quite turn our backs on Leander. Back when they brought me home from Seton, with mama's belly still healing, this was Austin's last frontier, cotton and county roads and deer. And now it's 90,000 strong, or see what the census brings along. They say those West Coast refugees flood and think everything is free. All those subdivision dreams of shaded oak and canopies begin as blinding sunny sapling streets out in Leander. But give it time, the paint will fade just as the live oaks yield their shade. 1,000 new foundations every day laid in Leander. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. 1,000 new foundations every day laid in Leander. I was smaller than the craftsman when money led me to action. I shoved it across the neighbor's lawn, heat struck before the job was done. A burly man with a Spanish name, he gave me pizza and lemonade. He took a rain check for another day, and when I came back I trimmed every blade. In these quarter-acre yards, lined with fleets of worn-out cars, some folks sink their money and their hearts into Leander. The godly people trim theirs nice, the heathen let the weeds grow high. But then you learn it ain't so cut and dry out in Leander. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Grow up and find it ain't so cut and dry out in Leander. Sometimes I wish I'd gone to see more football games instead of dreaming about the stage, build stronger ties to town and place. I thought I can't love what I never will, and I won't move back, at least not for thrills. But then the music died and the world stood still. I'm number 60,001, back from Tennessee. I've run the most reluctant native son of old Leander. And in these quarter-acre lawns, the green blades rise like Easter dawn. Come July, they will be dead and gone, but I pray we'll be strong, 'cause Mama and I, we walk the block to keep our minds off the clock, missing the world before it stopped, and treasuring the time we've got in these cookie-cutter homes, cheap wood and moldy limestone. We're locked down, but we don't feel so all alone in Leander. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. We don't feel so all alone out in Leander. Thank y'all. This is a song about one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. This is called Texas Candlelight. We were somewhere over North Louisiana when the clouds below was finally cleared away. And from Shreveport on, the night was crystal calm, and every town in the big thicket I could trace. The country light poles twinkled in the darkness. The courthouse squares glowed warm and welcoming. And when the plane tilted left, it stole away my breath to see all of Central Texas spread before me. A Texas candlelight, looking down on a Texas candlelight. Lord above, bless the people below, from Galveston to Copperas Cove, as I look down from my window seat tonight, as a homeland glowing in Texas candlelight. The Blackland Prairie speed traps looked so silent, while 35 shone like a string of Christmas bulbs. And Houston's domain was a furnace on the plains against the inky vastness of the gold. A Texas candlelight, looking down on a Texas candlelight. Lord above, bless the people below, from Cedar Park to Refugio, as I look down from my window seat tonight, on a homeland glowing in Texas candlelight. And may their fears be stilled, and may the souls be filled. May your peace bring light to their hearts tonight. All round this globe, as I look down from my window seat tonight, as I look down from my window seat tonight, on a homeland glowing in Texas candlelight. Thank y'all so much. Well, I'll wrap it up with one more for you here. Again, thank y'all so much for coming. It means the world to me. It's really, really special. I don't know how much more to elaborate on than that, but it's really great. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Couple quick things. First, again, thanks to the Redbird so much, not just for this night, but also just for being this incubator of songs here in New Braunfels. We're just absolutely spoiled to have it. And the songwriter night that happens every Thursday night, even if you're not a musician or a songwriter, come on out. It's always a great time. It's amazing just who will just show up and play songs. You just never know what you're going to get. So it's really, really special. I hope you'll come back here. Thanks again to Carolyn, to Micah, to Chris for running sound, for Mark for painting. It's been a really special evening. So thank y'all again so much. Couple more quick things. I've got a lot of music out, as I've mentioned. Be sure and check that out. If you listen to CDs, great. I got CDs out there. And I've got music on streaming as well. You can purchase it on my Bandcamp page, I believe, if you just need a digital download. Share my music. I've got a lot of music out there, and if you find some songs that have been recorded, send them to some friends. I'd love to just keep being able to share songs with people, not just here in New Braunfels, but in other places. I've got a show coming up in Helotes in a few weeks, a house show in a beautiful setting, grand piano, a hilltop house overlooking all of San Antonio, a beautiful place. So if you've got any friends out in Helotes or in San Antonio on October 25th, or if you just want a repeat, come on out. Be sure and look that up and send that to any friends who are out in the area. Give me a follow on Instagram at Owen Stroud if you like, or my Facebook page. Better yet, I've got a mailing list out there near the merch table when you check that out. So I'd love to stay in touch, keep you posted on any new music releases, and I plan to have some in the next year or so, any new shows, all that good stuff. So be sure and check the merch table out, and I'll see y'all out there. Be sure and say hi. I'll finish it up with one last song here. This one's called Banks of the Comal. This is off my latest record. And again, thank y'all so much. Here we go. Well, San Antonio is a small town, dressed up in bigger city ways. Well, I can't say I agree much with that statement, even if it's what some olden-timers say. Everything's so far, you almost live inside your car. And it's several different cities lumped in one, and a number of San Antonios you could be from. But as for me, I'm going back to a place that I can drive across in maybe 10 minutes flat. And every time I walk to the square, I run into folks I know who ain't there for the Alamo or Hemisphere. I made it through the big city up till now. Time to head on back and make my home again on the banks of the Comal. Well, New Braunfels was a small town. That's what the children of the Germans might complain. Well, I know we're chiseling further through this century, and growing has its own peculiar pain. I don't worship the past, I just want some kind of home at last, where I'm more than just the title of my job, and my friends ain't any further than a simple skip and hop. Yeah, as for me, I'm going back to a place that I can drive across in maybe 10 minutes flat. And every time I walk to the square, I run into folks I know who ain't there for the Alamo or Hemisphere. I made it through the big city up till now, and time to head on back and make my home again on the banks of the Comal. As for me, I'm going back to a place that I can drive across in maybe 10 minutes flat. And every time I walk to the square, I run into folks I know who ain't there for the Alamo or Hemisphere. I've made it through the big city up till now. Time to head on back and make my home again. Time to head on back and make my home again. Time to head on back and make my home again on the banks of the Comal. Thank y'all, everybody. Thank y'all. This is the last song off my first record. I wrote it one winter night. I was living in Missouri for a couple of years, and it was January. I'd just driven back up to Missouri after Christmas, made that 12-hour stretch, and I came back to the farmhouse that I was living in, and there was snow all across the fields, and it was this empty, dark house, but the moon was out. And I sat there in the dark, hadn't even turned on any lights yet, just dropped my bags down, went over to the piano, and I started writing this song. This one's called Will You Stay With Me? Can we kill the lights? It's that sort of song.
That's also a first.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. Darling, why you crying? And there ain't nothing sad. And darling, why you crying? And there ain't nothing sad. The wind is howling like a lovesick man, but those days are over now, and here you stand, the greatest fortune I could ever have. So will you stay with me? Is anything so lonesome? There's moonlight on the snow. Is anything so lonesome? There's moonlight on the snow. If there are other places you must go, like snowflakes falling to the earth below, I'd miss you more than you could ever know. So will you stay with me? Hear the world is singing every time it spins. Hear the world is singing every time it spins. The day I met you and forever since, my heart's been covered by your fingerprints. Oh no, I don't believe in accidents. So will you stay with me? Oh no, I don't believe in accidents. So will you stay with me? All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thanks for coming.